Okay, it's time for a recap. It is April 29th, Friday, and I'm going to do the recap for today. Today wasn't a good day. I mean, okay, $992, so 1,000 bucks. So cannot complain too much. Didn't follow the plan as I would have liked. I'm starting to try to let's see what happened here. Okay, I'm trying to start to get longer term positions. So not scalping that much, but really letting. I mean, obviously, I'm going to scalp if that's the case, but I want to let the big trades, big movements play out more. I have playbook trades, and I feel like I'm really taking them too soon. I'm just exiting too soon, and I'm leaving a big portion of the profits on the table, and that happened today too, a couple of times. Actually, yeah, a few times, honestly. So a little bit upset about that, about how that happened. But okay, let's take a look and see what I did. So my first trade was Riot. It's a shame because I did have a good idea in Riot. The only thing is that I didn't feel too comfortable with it on the 1 minute chart because what I saw here is I saw this, gap up a little bit, and it could have been like a 1 minute opening range breakdown, but I saw a lot of buyers on the tape, and it was holding above. It was really holding. I could see a decent amount of buyers over here, so I got in at the first minute, 42.10. I got in. It was a bit spready, honestly, right? Now it's even spreadier than before, but it's not giving the same. I mean, there was movement, but it's not giving the same opportunity that it used to. So yesterday I didn't even have it on my watch list, but I got in at 42.10, and my stop was a little bit too tight. I should have maybe put it below this can. Maybe this candle would have been too much, but at least before the daily open, and I just put it at 41.95. With the spread, it wasn't the best idea. My target was, in this case, L3, and it is a shame that I got out. I think I didn't even let it play out. I think I pressed the button of getting out, and the reason why is because I saw these two elongated candles in a way. It was kind of like three elongated candles, pretty much. Yeah, three elongated candles here. So I really maybe thought that it was gonna come down, and that was a bit of a shame because as soon as I got out, I mean, I lost 150 bucks, which is not much, but it did reach exactly my target. So that is a little bit of a shame that I mismanaged that trade there. Eventually, it did fail to hold that level, and it did come down, but it is a shame. So I think the problem was a little bit that I saw the 9 EMA over here, and like I said, these like signs of weakness. I guess that would have been the thing, but also I should have looked better at the 5 minute EMA because the 5 minute 9 EMA was right at the pivot point. So if I would have paid more attention or better attention to it, I could have had a winning trade there. So that was my first trade, and then I went into NCLH, and I did rush a little bit more. My playbook trade was above R5, back to R5 trade. So I think AMD had that yesterday too. And again, I didn't mismanage it. I mean, I didn't let the whole thing play out, and it's a shame because it really, really got all the way down. You see it opens above R5 and it immediately fails pretty much, and it gets down there. And the same thing happened to me today in NCLH and CCL, where that was my playbook setup and I didn't follow through with it. And I feel pretty embarrassed and ashamed, that I didn't, because I left out a decent chunk of money on the table. So it's something that I'm not that used to, but it's something that I'm trying to really work on is to be patient and wait for the bigger move. It's kind of a little bit tough because maybe I get in here and I'm already up like 1,000 bucks, and there's that fear that hey, it comes all over here and then I'm up nothing, pretty much. But it just makes sense because I just need like two or three good trades where that's the case a week. Two or three good trades where I follow through with my game plan, and that's gonna give me enough money to really have a profitable week. Like I really just don't need much more. Especially I went in this trade with 3,000 shares today. So yeah, 3,000 shares times 86, I would have been like over 2,400 bucks. That's just R5. If I would have let it to R4, which is like the secondary setup in that sense, the secondary profit target, it would have been quite more. So a little bit embarrassed, but I went short, and I went short a little bit too soon. I went short at 31.85 at 9.33. So I saw this breakdown over here, and I really thought that I saw this it was coming up again. So what I really wanted to do is I wanted to go short, hedging against the 9 EMA and the daily open. So I got right at that price, 953. And then I added because it really surged up. I'm like, dude, this is probably gonna come back down. It doesn't make a lot of sense. You know, the setup doesn't make a lot of sense, especially after this big elongated candle. I went short at 31.18, 31.98, and I covered at 32.18. So I was having a pretty nasty loss there. I don't know how much I lost. That's 15, 13. 15 and 13, that's 280, 280. I mean, whatever. I lost like 600. I think I lost like 500 bucks and change because I was down like 670 for the day. But yeah, I got out pretty much at the highs almost. It's a shame because I got out at 935.48, and as soon as I got out, the thing just dropped. You know, so exactly what I thought was going to happen. But you know, at that point, I was above my risk tolerance for that trade, and it's a shame, you know, because I was looking at CCL too, and CCL was much clearer, you know, because you did have these three peaks over here at the pre-market. You know, you see these tremendous levels of resistance and rejection there. You know, you see this not engulfing, but a pretty much very bearish candle. You see the shooting star, and then you know you see this thing that happens over here. You know, so this really looked much more weak. So as soon as I got out, I got in again. I got in with 2,000 shares at CCL, 2088 and 2091. Yeah, so I got in here, and it's a bit embarrassing because I covered at 28.73. So right here, really embarrassing. Honestly, my target was here, so I pretty much missed over $400 in this trade. You know, very embarrassing. I wanted to get myself back in the green. I was like down 600 and 700 bucks. And I really wanted to make back the money, but it goes to show, you know, like it is pretty bad, you know, because I just need to let this trade play out, and if I do let this trade play out, then that's when I'm gonna make the most money, you know. So that was a bit embarrassing, and then I covered, and then I realized like, hey, I just have to go in NCLH. So I was going for previous daily open resistance over here, so I got in at 938. I went with 3,000 shares, so a little bit bigger size for me. 938, so right over here in this candle for daily open breakdown. And I was much more patient with this trade, pretty much more patient. So it was like a 7 minute my first partial, then like 9 minutes, 7 8 minutes, 9 minutes, and then I just, this is embarrassing too because I got out of half of my position, the last half at 31.34 and 9.56. So right over here, when you know, obviously I would have had to sit through some pain in this sense, but everything just really seemed like it was gonna come down. Like that's the trend, you know. It's better if you keep the trend. So yeah, I did miss out on the opportunity of like these two partials. I did miss out on the opportunity of making $400 more. So today I pretty much missed like $800 $900 in just first profit target level. You know, so it just goes to show how important it is. Yes, I would have had to sat through some pain over here, but it's below VWAP on the 5 minute chart, 9 EMA. It still looks good. Yes, it gets a little bit above here, but it still looks good. You know, it's not a big deal, and then it does end up coming there and even farther away. I mean, it got all the way down to the previous day close. So imagine that trade. I would have taken it 3,000 shares. That would have been $4,500. You know, of a trade. Obviously, that wouldn't have happened because I would have taken profit targets before. But still, you know, it doesn't matter that I have a trade idea and I don't follow through with it. You know, and something that I have to really work on, and it's just in the mind. You know, it's just psychological. It's just a psychological thing that I have to deal with, you know, because yeah, there's a possibility that it does come up and it does take me out, but it doesn't matter. Like, okay, I'll take that risk because the end game of if it gets to my profit target is going to be so much better, you know. And like I said, I just need 2 3 4 good trades a week. That's literally all I need, you know. Even a month, honestly. Like, yeah, I get like 4 good trades a week. Just an average, I would say like an average good trade would be $2,000 $3,000. I have that on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis, and I'm already making more than 10K a month, you know. So it's literally exactly what I need to do, you know, is follow the game plan, follow with the trade, and keep my risk management tight. You know, there's not much more to it, and it's good that I do have playbook trades that work over a consistent amount of time, you know. So there was no excuses for me to not let this trade play out. The same with AMD yesterday. I did cover I went in 1,000 shares around here. Yeah, for like a 1 minute opening range breakdown, and I covered around here, and I left a lot of money on the table. So it's something that I'm gonna have to keep working on, you know. So yeah, again, $750 is my max daily stop loss. So if we reach that, we're out. Today I was close, like 80 bucks close. So yeah, MVIS was a great opportunity today too. As you can see here, there was a little bit of a gap down, and then daily open. You can see resistance over here, and then it continued to come down. So this was an amazing setup that I didn't take, but yeah, I should have taken it. And look, it just time and time again, you know, it hit the pivot point. You know, here it almost got there, but look, rebounded, and then it did come there. You know, and even yeah, pretty much hung around this L4 level. So I have the pivot points. I have to respect them, and I have to make them my target points, not whatever I wanted to make, or I get, you know, I experience a little bit of FOMO and or stuff, you know, or things that are out of my playbook and out of my rules of taking profit. So something that I'm gonna have to work on psychologically. If I encounter that, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna really let it go and let the trade play out. Put my stop loss to break even, or maybe take partials, you know, along the way up if it does retrace and stuff. But I really have to stay focused on that, man. Like, there's just no other way. There's really just no other way for me to like make money, you know. So yeah, that was my recap for today. It's another $1,000, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.